And welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. Joining me every Friday is the Blue Magoo this week, Chris Hall.
Hello, hello.
And I don't know how you got the Blue Magoo out of this one.
I don't know. I just come up with something color-based.
Okay. I thought you were going to say that I don't know, the Silver Scarab or something, But anyway, oh Lord, it has been a heck of a week this week for Friday TV talk or movie talk.
Yes,
because we got a lot of complaints about not watching enough movies on Tubi.
right.
Too, and they were telling us that we were reviewing too many Marvel movies and too many DC movies, and we needed to do something else because they couldn't watch it on their channel. So we said, okay, how do we fix this?
And this is something else. This is definitely something else.
Yeah, we figured we want to get the superheroes. We wanted to do Tubi. We had to figure out something. So this is what we came up with. This week it is The Avenging Guardians, also known as Avenging Force the Scarab from 2010. Director Brett Kelly, writers Brett Kelly and Trevor Peyer, producer Anne-Marie Fragon and Trevor Peyer, starring Mark Cornier, did I pronounce that correct? Jodie Hawk,
So.
John E. McLennican, Alex Pasquette, and Angela Parrott, among a cast of thousands of other nobodies.
Right.
Distributed by, I couldn't find a distributor for this anywhere online, so I guess nobody wants to seem to take credit for it, and can't we hardly blame them. Which was released in, I think it was April 8th or April 28th, 2010. I did actually find the actual date of release. I just didn't get it corrected before I put the post up. What is it about? Well, we'll let you read what it's about.
All right. So when a mystical scarab stone comes into the possession of a skeptical archaeologist via his mentor, he is pursued by an evil criminal organization, headed by a leader known as the Sphinx, who wants the stone for his own world-domineering agendas. Unaware that the stone has transformed the archaeologist into the superpowered hero, the Scarab. The Scarab, being a newly existing hero and unsure of his abilities, finds himself betwixt many foes and allies, including the Black Terror, Double Dare, and the Woman in Red. Who can he trust? And whomever he trusts, will their aid be enough to stop the Sphinx and his diabolical schemes? Or will the world fall to chaos?
Now, these are all numerous comic book heroes in the public domain. Usually they are characters from the 1930s and 40s whose parents' companies went out of business without assigning their rights to another holder. With the popularity of comic book movies, you would expect that inevitably some of these characters were going to get picked up by filmmakers and brought to the big screen. Well, here they are, but they haven't been brought to life by creators of the likes of Steven Spielberg or Quentin Tarantino. No, these are the ones that got brought to life by a man who also brought us films such as Raiders of the Lost Shark and My Fair Zombie. This super adventure features characters pulled mostly from the Nador Publishing Company. Nador was the sister company of Better Publications, and both were subsidiaries of Standard Comics. They were known for characters such as the Black Terror, the Scarab, Ms. Mask, and the Fighting Yank. That was the general's code name, by the way.
Oh yeah, the Fighting Yank. Yep.
Standard was published from 1936 and went out of business in 1956. So, the film opens with Professor Peter Ward, Mark Cornier, who was visited by his colleague, Professor Job Jürgen Vollrath. Job had been picked up several alien artifacts from a trip to South America earlier in the film, which made no sense, and was shipped to the Sphinx organization back to the United States. Exactly how he managed to escape and get back to the States with the artifacts is never shown. Makes no story sense whatsoever, so we will just ignore this. Before Job can show Peter the artifacts, however, he is kidnapped and assaulted by minions of the Sphinx, played by Jodie Hawk, who wants to use these artifact powers to take over the world. But when Peter finds one of the artifacts, a blue rock that looks like a scarab, the rock exposes Peter to a supernatural force that turns him into the superhuman scarab by transforming him briefly into another dimension, and then back on the Earth with the powers. The Scarab joins forces with the crime fighting organization NEDOR, or NADOR. I don't remember what the heck they said it standard for, but it's not important, to try and stop the Sphinx's plans, including the Woman in Red, also known as in the comics world as Ms. Mask, herself a newbie to the crime-fighting scene on her first official mission. As the duo keep running into the Sphinx's thugs, there are some occasional halfway decent, sort of martial arts scenes. The action is decent, but the filming thereof is often very lame and shot from the wrong camera angles, which weakens what good quality there was of the choreography. And if they'd had a better camera crew who understood how to shoot fight scenes better, they might have improved the film by about 200% just by doing that alone.
Right. And when you say that they keep running into the Sphinx's thugs, they literally are running into them. That's like the fight scenes, as they're running into them, going,
Anyway, but even halfway decent fight scenes could not have saved us from the pitiful excuses for the costuming or the grade school level performances from the cast. From the corny lead actor to every last extra, I felt like I was watching 8-year-olds in adult bodies.
Right.
Alex Pasquette, Woman in Red in particular, was just, I don't want to say she was awful, because she was really in many ways the most honest and sincere in her performance. Everyone else seemed to be hamming it up as much as they possibly could. Perhaps just lacking in real acting training would be a good description for her, because this was like her first film ever. She has virtually no range, no idea what to do with her physical body as she talks. She moves her hands and arms at odd times. That might work if she were playing a normal person in a normal film, having normal conversations. But it's basically like she's just frustrated at the whole performance and the whole experience and doesn't know what she's doing.
Which, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was just the way it was filmed, but at times it looked like she had upper lip fuzz. And I'll show you a scene from that. She's not a bad looking woman. In fact, she actually was on a TV series for modeling, for supermodeling in Canada before she did this film. So if you're good enough to be in a show about supermodels, I guess you have to have something going right?
Right. The prestigious Project Runway.
But anyway, that kind of distracted from the overall effect of what she's trying to represent. And I don't know how many of our viewers realize how many women actually do have facial hair and how much effort they take to safely remove it, so they don't have to constantly shave like us guys on a daily basis. But when you're making a movie, I want my cast looking their best, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
But, a little bit of lip fuzz, not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah. Then there's the Black Terror. I mean, how damn hard is it really to get a black shirt with a proper Skull and Bones design, screen printed on it, so it doesn't look like a 5-year-old did it?
Yeah, I mean, you can get a Punisher shirt for $20 off Amazon. Really, dude.
This is. Can you see the peach fuzz over her top lip?
A little bit.
Yeah. It's not consistent. It's like in different lighting it shows, and other times it doesn't. So I just would have liked a little more care given to her, from makeup or something,
Right.
And this poor guy, they couldn't even afford to make him a mask. They made him face paint around his eyes, and then made a joke of it in the screenplay, saying, well, what can you give me that the other people can't? Well, we can afford to give you a mask. Okay. I guess I'll join your side then. I can have an actual mask instead of wearing this ugly face paint.
And those glowing orange powers that she's showing on the cover, she doesn't actually have those.
Right. You kind of wish she did, but
she's more of a she's a Black Widow character, basically.
Yeah. But anyway, so when people bitch at me about how bad the Marvel and DC films are, I think they should all be forced to pay $15 to go to a theater, sit in a chair, strapped to the chair, and watch this crap for an hour and a half. And every time they try to move or leave the seat, they're shocked with what like did in the Tingler buzzers in the seats back in 1959.
Maybe a little stronger than that.
It's a little stronger, exact. I was going to say 3 times stronger, but yeah, I'll just to give an idea, though.
Right.
Anyway, the blue beetle. The beetle design, the scarab's chest looks like a turd, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like Hanky from South Park, but
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
Mr. Hanky.
It's like, why not make the character's rubber armor look more blue? Are you afraid that DC might take it literally and think you're representing Blue Beetle? I think we all know it's a scarab, and they couldn't use the original red of the scarab in the comics because that would have been too similar to the woman in red and made them seem more like a couple than they were in the story. But as for the villain, the Sphinx, or as I call him, the Sphinxter,
Yep.
and his entourage of nobodies, no, sir, not the gauntlet. Would you prefer I just shoot you? Yeah, actually, I would. The gauntlet is pretending you're walking up and down 2 lines of extras, who each take a turn punching or kicking you once while you have your hands tied behind your back. Are you freaking kidding me? Make a damn death trap laden obstacle course, for fuck's sakes. Then the heroes would have at least had something to go through to get to the Sphinx, and one of them bites it. That's how you do the movie. But would you prefer me to shoot you now, or will you walk the gauntlet? Shoot me now! Shoot me now! I'm jumping at you! Shoot me now!
Yes. Oh God, it was bad. And the guy, I don't even think his hands were tied behind his back. He just literally walked through like a line of people, like who are like, dish, dish.
Do that again.
Like, dish, dish.
Yeah. Yeah, and they even slow motioned it. It was like, and they repeated the same kind of like action where he's going.
Now, there was a humorous scene right before this where the Sphinx, he's talking to his minions and he tells them to do something and they hesitate. And he's like, shoots them and he's like, that's for hesitating. And then he goes, to the woman, his woman sidekick, he goes, you kill him for hesitating too. And she goes and shoots him, and then he shoots her, goes, that's for hesitating too.
But anyway, it was just dumb, But anywho, I think I've spelled enough out, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and follow that.
Oh, damn. You're going to make me follow that? I mean, for crying out loud, you took every line and stinker sinker. I got nothing to add. You could have let me go first. You could have, yes. Technically, the only thing good was Alex as the woman in red. I like the special effects for when the Sphinx sucks the energy out of the scarab. So technically, the Sphinx got sucked off by the scarab. But other than that, I think we write off viewing any more films of this nature from Tubi moving forward.
Rating. What? You think this movie actually earned a rating? Okay. I gave it a -3.
You should have put the stars the other way, like flip the other way.
Well, I did. They're all white.
No, I mean like going like from here to that way, yeah.
Yeah, it's -3 stars with whites, and of course, Chris actually tried to give a color. I don't know if you guys can see it in there, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get it up close. Can you see the little red dot for the blood that caused him to watch this? There's the blood coming out of his eyes. He gave it 0.10 of a star, and that was because he thought Alex was cute.
The only redeeming quality in this movie. You could literally watch this and MST3K the hell out of this movie. Wooden acting, like horrible script.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like and then after the film was over, there's like 15 minutes of like comics credits.
The worst comic art you have ever seen in your life. Like my 10-year-old grandson could draw better than that.
Yeah. I was like, what in the world? I don't know. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, luckily they are public domain characters. Someone else can go ahead and take these characters and actually make something good with it. Excuse me. Where's my phone? Do you have your phone? Call Kevin Van Hook.
I did not realize that these were public domain characters when I first watched the movie. Until you had mentioned it. Yeah, I didn't even know that. So,
yeah, it's like, we got to get Kevin Van Hook online. I'll work with him on the script. He can direct. We got to get, I don't know what we're going to do for costuming, but we can do better than that.
And I'm pretty sure I could do better special effects.
Yeah. Just, damn. I mean, I'll grant you it's 15 years later. Things are better in some ways, but I think frankly, I think we could have done better in the 90s than this.
I agree. It was just so bad. Yeah, I don't ever want to watch a movie like. See, we watch movies like this on Saturday nights. We have a crew that watch it, and the only redeeming factor of the bad movies that we watch is the nudity and the gore and the violence, which this had none of.
Well, that plus you are all watching it together and you're mocking the crap out of it while you're watching it. That's the other quality. We don't get to do that without getting a strike from YouTube. So otherwise we would do that.
Right. Well, I think it would fall under parody, wouldn't it? I mean, we could probably do it. No.
But no, they're really snobbish about that sort of thing.
All right.
So no.
Well,
now
so
I thought we were gonna do a show next Friday, but we're not because it's July 4th.
It is. But
so it'll be 2 weeks.
If you want, this movie is on Tubi, and you can go out and you can be part of tens of people around the world that have seen this movie.
Just be sure you take a Vicodin beforehand. A whole bottle.
Vicodin, Adderall, just whatever you got.
Because afterwards, you got to have something to kill the pain.
Right. This movie is the equivalent of hitting your thumb with a hammer, splitting it open and blood everywhere, and then pouring rubbing alcohol on that thumb. This movie is the equivalent of that.
And then hitting your thumb again with the same hammer.
Yes.
I was waiting for the next part.
That's coated in salt.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our review for this week. And I hate to say that. It's not like the actors were bad. We don't like to knock any of the actors as bad people. It was just the directing. What they were given to work with was just
right. Like, this is a film that, if you're like, hey, you were in that movie, weren't you? Nope, that wasn't me. That was some other guy, not me.
Yeah. So anyway, not next week, but 2 weeks after that mess, we need to watch something decent. Please listen. I haven't seen this one yet. The Wheel of Doom is selected for us for next time. Hellboy the Crooked Man, the first live Hellboy movie that's actually based on a Mignola story, and it doesn't have Ron Perlman in it. Will Jack Kesey be able to bring the magic, or will this suck? I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
I can verify that this does not suck. I've seen like 3/4 of it.
Okay.
It really is an excellent movie. The horror, the atmosphere, just everything is really great about this movie.
Okay, so we're going to be okay next. Not
it's
next week, but July 11th.
The only problem I have with this movie is that it was too long.
Don't. It's too long. Okay, well, we'll see. But anyway, that's all for this week. We'll see you in 2 weeks with Hellboy Crooked Man. If you want to reach out to me on social media, Lewis.BrightRaven at Facebook, on the Muskrat X channel at LewisBrightRaven2. A few more of my artwork, like what you're seeing on the screen, at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. If you want to see some of Chris's, that's partly Chris's art. It's his colors.
Right.
Over on DeviantArt.com/Fatboy73. You can watch and Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, suggestions for movies or TV shows or comics you want us to review, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com is the place to reach us. And if I don't get back to you, try Lewis Bright Raven at yahoo.com. And if you want to get a hold of Chris, it is ghthrowingstones@gmail.com. And tomorrow, he has 1 p.m. live. He will be with David Kimpede over at the Throwing Stones
podcast.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. Glass House Throwing Stones podcast. And the guest is Kelly Jones, I believe.
Yes, we are going to have the magnificent Kelly Jones. So, looking forward to that interview. Absolutely.
Yep. And so there's that. And as for me, I'll probably be outside mowing the lawn, but if it's not like 100 degrees out,
which it probably will be. So,
it's getting up there. I think it was 97 today was the high, but still,
it's 84 here.
I'll take 84 with a lake breeze.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Is that if that lake breeze is at least a little bit cooling, I hope.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. Quoth the Raven.
Nevermore.